So hi, I'm Jen Schmidt with Road Trail Run, and we are here at the Eternal booth at TrailCon.
Yeah,
So if you want to introduce yourself and
yeah.
tell us all about it.
So I'm Dr. Desmond Wilson. I'm our Chief Medical Officer here at Eternal. Eternal is high performance healthcare for athletes or intrinsically motivated individuals. So however you identify, and what we do, it's a cross section of health and performance. Um, our current offerings, it's essentially a concierge product where an athlete comes to us. They have potentially goals in mind related to health, related to performance, and they need a team or want a team to help them reach those goals. Or it can be baselining, or it can be they have felt um, as if they've not been listened to by traditional healthcare providers. And so when you come to us, you meet your team, you have a dedicated doctor, you have a dedicated coach. We essentially have a portion that's an assessment where we look at health-based blood biomarkers, but with the performance lens. We also have a physical assessment as well. We have two assessment centers currently, one in San Francisco, one in New York City. At our assessment centers, you will do a strength and power assessment, mobility, stability. We do body composition via DEXA, and then we do aerobic testing. So testing for VO2 max. We also do a lactate test as well. Um, After you've had your assessment, you've met your team, we essentially have something we call a roundtable, which is where your doctor, your coach, other subject matter experts, could be a registered dietitian, could be a women's health expert, convene, talk about you, and kind of flip over stones and say, what is going to help this person get to where they need to be, where they want to be. We then reconvene with you and we land on what we call our strategic priorities, which are essentially goals that we've identified that we, in concert with your input, said this is what's going to be most additive to your life currently. And then from there, it's a really close relationship built around habit formation, built around small habits, big wins. How can we, get you to that PR? How can we just get you back on the road, whether that's a bike, whether that's you're a runner, or get you back on the golf course, whatever it might be, how you identify as an athlete matters to us, but what that sport is does not matter because we will speak to it regardless.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you have this whole team around the athletes. Is this kind of a complement to your traditional primary care stuff and
Yeah.
just more focused on the athletic performance side?
So it is a complement in some respects. We want us to be your first call, health related or not.
Mhm.
If it's something that's more acute, then certainly go to the appropriate clinician, like an ER or a urgent care. But for all other things, we should either be able to manage it or at least speak to it. There's some aspects that aren't necessarily like traditional primary care. I'll just give you two examples. Like vaccines is not something we would dole out because it's the medical portion, at least right now, is virtual. So vaccines would be an example. Something like, again, like acute care, acute injury, acute illness isn't something we're going to assess you for in person. But you know, uh, how do you manage a cold as a trail runner who's running at altitude? We can talk about that, right? And that's something that maybe your traditional primary care doctor might not be able to do.
Yeah. Or if I'm just a generally healthy athlete, but suddenly I'm fatigued, then I look
Yes,
to my team and be like, what's going on?
100%.
Is it availability, environment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about energy availability all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you had an athlete come to you with one of those scenarios, then are you able to prescribe them things? Or you said it's about habit formation,
Yeah.
behavior?
Yeah. So, from a medical scope of practice perspective, there are certain things that we can prescribe for. So, um, especially when we think about the biggest drivers of morbidity and mortality in our country, so disease and death. And those are essentially around heart health, around metabolic disease, um, cancer prevention. Um, so we can prescribe for many of those things, not everything, but for example, if you have hyperlipidemia, high cholesterol, that's something not only we'll speak to, but we will prescribe for. If you have issues with glucose regulation and it's not related to performance, because sometimes it can be, And this is truly an underlying issue. And we have really pulled all of our levers in the kind of lifestyle space. So meaning performance as well as nutrition. Then yes, we can prescribe accordingly and monitor accordingly. Yeah.
And just going back to the nuts and bolts, so
Yeah.
where can people get involved if they decide they want to?
Yeah. Yeah. So you can go to eternal.co. So ETERNAL.co, no M. We have a wait list there. You can sign up and we'll reach out to you and hopefully get you involved. Yeah.
Very cool. And when do you expect to be live and running?
Launched.
Oh, you've launched.
We launched in April.
Launched in wait.
We're like we have a wait list of about 6,000 people right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have a robust wait list. Yeah. So we're here, ready, and accepting members.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool. Well, thanks so much for telling us about
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.